Oh my goodness. Bro, did Shakur Stevenson, Bill Haney, and Devin Haney all agree to a weight right now? Did Bill Haney and Devin Haney just agree to fight Shakur Stevenson at 144 pounds? That's what it looks like to me. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a bunch of tweets to read to you guys. You had Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Bill Haney discussing the weight issue that isn't allowing this fight to happen. Of course, if y'all don't know by now, this is a fight that Zuffa Boxing is pushing for. Devin Haney, Bill Haney, who reportedly signed a $100 million deal with Zuffa. Reports are that Shakur Stevenson also signed with Zuffa. It's Bill Haney and Devin Haney, Dana White and Turkey, that are trying to push for the super fight, the mega fight with Shakur Stevenson. Now, there's been a big dilemma in all this. Before all this even started, first of all, we had got an interview with Wallow, Gilly the Kid, Jay Prince, and Bill Haney discussing a possible fight between Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, and Jay Prince absolutely turned it down. Now, little do we know, Bill Haney already knew what they was trying to get, but didn't call out Jay Prince during that interview with Wallow and Gilly the Kid. Now, if you ain't up to date with everything that's been going down, first, let me tell you, you had Mike Coppinger and other boxing outlets come out 2 different times, reportedly saying that Devin Haney signing to Zuffa Boxing is in negotiations to try to fight Shakur Stevenson. You also had reports of Shakur Stevenson being signed over to Zuffa Boxing. And both times, Shakur Stevenson turns it down. He calls cap both times. Y'all remember that. Then we head into June, all right? June 1st, Eddie Hearn does an interview. And during this interview, he says that Shakur Stevenson has signed to Zuffa Boxing. He just doesn't understand what they're going to do with him, etc., etc. June 2nd, Shakur Stevenson responds and says that's all cap. But also on June 2nd, a bunch of things happened. You had the WBO officially elevate Keyshawn Davis to the #1 rated fighter in the WBO welterweight rankings, making him the mandatory. And eventually will be the fight that's ordered to face Devin Haney for his WBO welterweight strap. June 3rd. On June 3rd, we see around the boxing world, Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis. It looks like they're coming to an agreement. It looks like Devin Haney goes on Twitter. The dude is welcoming the fight. The dude is hyped up about the fight. But we see Bill Haney get into a FaceTime call with Keyshawn Davis. Y'all remember? And Bill Haney was asking for the 2-for-1 plan, the Oakland deal, he calls it. He wants Keyshawn Davis in whatever fashion. It don't matter if he's first or the other fighter that he wanted to sign this contract in order to get Keyshawn Davis that fight. When we all know at the end of the day, Keyshawn doesn't have to sign it, because no matter what, if Devin Haney and Bill Haney don't end up coming into an agreement or decide to, do business with Keyshawn Davis, when the WBO decides to order that fight, the fight would end up getting pushed to a purse bid. And Devin Haney will have no option either to just vacate his bout or face Keyshawn Davis. Now, June 3rd, that goes on, and everybody's like, come on, Bill Haney. You're already putting stipulations on the fight. And the fight's not even made. And we already know Shakur Stevenson ain't gonna fight you. Jay Prince just told you in that interview with Gilly the Kid and Wallow. Shakur Stevenson came out in an interview and said he ain't moving there for years, that that's gonna be the last weight class that he ever fights at. Then comes June 4th. June 4th, we find out the actual details within everything that's going down. And the real reason why Keyshawn Davis was elevated, having never fought at 147 pounds before in his career, being elevated to the #1 ranked fighter in the WBO welterweight rankings. And that was because of Jay Prince. Jay Prince, the manager of both Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, knew and was knowing about Zuffa Boxing, Devin Haney, and Bill Haney trying to lock in this fight with Shakur Stevenson, trying to push for it. And Jay Prince tried to derail this, filed a petition to the WBO in order to get Keyshawn Davis moved into that slot to derail the talks of a Shakur Stevenson fight. Jay Prince did not want this for Shakur Stevenson, right? He did not want this. Shakur Stevenson has stipulations. And unless, Jay Prince said this, unless Devin Haney ain't moving down to 144 or to 140 pounds, then the fight's not happening. 144, that's the weight that they want. That's the weight that Shakur Stevenson says he's willing to fight these dudes at. So, all that being said, today, Shakur Stevenson, Bill Haney, and Devin Haney basically agreed to the terms at 144 pounds. And I'm going to read to you guys every tweet for tweet, on how this all started right here, bro. It started with Keyshawn Davis putting out a tweet saying, Davis versus, and this was yesterday, by the way, and I'm going to tell you everything that went down today. Yesterday, Keyshawn Davis says, Davis versus Haney is the biggest fight of the year. Devin Haney sees what Keyshawn Davis tweets and decides to tweet at him and says, me versus Shakur is the biggest fight. Our fight would be big, though. Shakur Stevenson sees what Devin Haney said to Keyshawn Davis. He decides to tweet at him and says, and let me guess, I got to come to your weight class to make the fight happen just because you say so, huh? With a laughing emoji. Devin Haney sees it, tweets back at him and says, whenever you decide to come to my weight class, let's do it. I'll fight your brother Keyshawn for now. Shakur responds, will do. Now, Devin Haney didn't say nothing after that. Bill Haney took to Twitter and said, first it was the money, now it's the weight. You can't make this up. Shakur Stevenson ends up responding to Bill Haney saying, Bill, you can trick the idiots on here, but you ain't tricking me. Y'all must really need me right now. With a laughing emoji, as if he knows Devin Haney signing with Zuffa Boxing, but Zuffa's trying to push for this fight, trying to get Bill Haney and Devin Haney to make this fight. They're trying to make money, man. Everybody's trying to make money. That's why Bill Haney and Devin trying to get this fight. Now, that was all yesterday. But today, Shakur Stevenson makes a statement specifically for Devin Haney. Now, he doesn't add him at it. But this is what Shakur Stevenson said 7 hours ago. Today, 144 is fair for two champions in two separate weight classes. Floyd and Canelo made one of the biggest fights ever happen at a catchweight. If y'all seriously wanted to fight, it would be easy to make. Y'all fought Jose Ramirez at that weight 2 fights ago. And he does got him there. You got to remember, Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez on that Times Square card. You had Rolly Romero taking on Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez taking on Arnold Barboza Jr. That was supposed to be Devin Haney's first fight up at 147 pounds. But they ended up making the catchweight. And I remember because I thought it was good for Jose Ramirez. A guy, 40 minutes from where I'm from. I thought him moving to 147 was going to be absolutely a lot better for him and his career. But then I seen that the fight was at 144. Was it 143, 144? And I was like, all right then. And that fight honestly wasn't the most exciting. Well, anyways, Devin Haney retweets at what Shakur Stevenson had to say. Devin Haney says, if I come to 144 pounds, we have a fight. If I come to 144 pounds, do we have a fight? Responding to what Shakur Stevenson just said about 144 is fair for two champions fighting in two separate weight classes. Floyd and Canelo did it, etc., etc. Shakur responds with one word: yes. Shakur continues, because Devin Haney still, till right now, hasn't responded after saying, if I come to 144, we have a fight, with a question mark. Shakur Stevenson responded, yes. Devin Haney hasn't responded, but Bill Haney has. But Shakur ended up continuing with two more tweets saying, fighter of the year me after this. All cap. He said, I'm going to show y'all just how great I am. Keep playing on my name. Shakur Stevenson is ready and excited. So like I said, he didn't end up, Devin Haney hasn't ended up responding. Shakur Stevenson took it upon himself to retweet what Keyshawn Davis had to say to this. Now, that's going to be for a separate video, but I'm going to tell you what he retweeted. What Keyshawn Davis said, it was a video. And Shakur Stevenson said, no, it was a video. And Keyshawn Davis tweeting, he'd rather lose more weight than get it in the ring with a businessman? I'm your mandatory, bro. Stop trying to make fights. He's getting mad. Like I said, that's going to be for another video. But Bill Haney ends up retweeting what Keyshawn Davis was talking about in a video, complaining about Devin Haney getting this fight with Shakur Stevenson, saying, bro, he ain't even in the same weight class as you. He ain't even in the same weight class as you. Bill Haney responds and says, someone asked this rocket scientist, isn't 140 to 147 pounds the welterweight division? Shakur Stevenson sees what Devin Haney says, and I think he took this as a shot at him, because he since then has deleted this tweet, and Bill Haney posted it, like took a screenshot of it, posted it, making fun of him, saying, can, like, help me understand this. Because this wasn't a shot at Shakur, but this was a shot at Keyshawn Davis. I think Shakur didn't see the video. He took this as a shot to him. Shakur Stevenson says, so if that's the case, shut your ass up and stop mentioning me until I move up. And Bill Haney responds, nah, chap, you said 144 with a shaking hands emoji, which to me, a shaking hands emoji, you said 144, bro. We got this. We got the receipts for this. It looks like Bill Haney and Devin Haney are agreeing. Now, Shakur Stevenson deletes that tweet that he said. Bill Haney takes a screenshot of it before he deletes it and puts 144 God champ in his feelings. LOL. Somebody help me understand. I'm telling you. Shakur responded to that, not knowing that that was for Keyshawn, bro. Hella funny. That's why Shakur Stevenson deleted the tweet. He was probably like, oh, damn. But, bro, everything that I just read to you guys right now is Shakur Stevenson, Bill Haney, and Devin Haney agreeing to 144 pounds. You got Bill Haney giving the shaking hands emoji, and you got Devin Haney putting it out there. If we fight at 144, is the fight on? Bro, I bet you Dana White and TKO and Turkey and these dudes were like, come on, Devin. We know for sure now that Shakur ain't moving up, so move down 3 pounds to fight this dude. Stop being up. I bet you that's what the pushing the issue. And Bill Haney and Devin Haney. And if they ain't pushing the issue, it's Bill Haney and Devin Haney that are understanding now that, goddamn, we're just going to have to agree to 144 because we couldn't get Shakur Stevenson to budge. But my goodness, bro, And this is absolutely breaking news. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, this fight could possibly be happening next. Keyshawn Davis is mad about this, but we're going to explain everything that has to go into that in my next video. My goodness, man, I'm absolutely hyped up. Let me know what you guys think. This is the MMA Boxing Addict channel bringing it to you, and I'm out.